week on the No More Late Fees podcast, we are joined by Olivia Joan. Welcome, Olivia.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
We're super excited to have you on. Was it kind of weird that this podcast just slid in your DMs? It was like, hey, by the way, want to be on this movie podcast?
No, I was actually really intrigued, and I told you guys, I just arrived to my ski trip, and I was with my best friend Win, and I showed her the DM, and I was like, dude, this sounds so cool. And we were going through the entire list and trying to figure out which movies. Granted, we didn't know half of them. Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I know this one, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes, prior to us hopping on, we just enlightened Olivia that Jackie and I have been friends for the same time she's been on this earth. She is going to be our new little sister, and that's fine. That's fine.
Hopefully we can educate you on 90s, 2000s movies.
I'm good with songs. That's what I love. I have a record player. My grandfather gave me all of his old records. So music, beautiful. Movies.
That's all right. It's all right. We're not going to be giving you a test or anything like that. It's all good vibes and fun over here. So I'll tell you how I ended up saying, wow, that I should reach out to Olivia. So I was perusing TikTok as I do. And I think I saw a get ready with me video, and I saw all of your really cool clothes, and I was like, oh, so cute. And I just started going down a rabbit hole and looking at your videos. And then I had taken a break. I went to go do something else. And I told my friend Shayla that I saw your videos, not knowing that you had gone viral or anything like that. I just knew you had a following, and I was like, oh, she's so adorable. She has really cool videos. And Shayla's like, oh my God, do you know the story? And I was like, I do not know the story. And I had no idea. I was literally looking at Black American royalty right here. And so I started to dive into things, and you've got articles written about you and kind of how you went viral. And I was just like, that's so intriguing and cool. So I don't want to tell your story better. I'm sure you could tell it better than I can. Why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, so I started TikTok just, I was with my ex-boyfriend, and none of my friends were answering, and I was going on a date with him, and I had seen on TikTok that people do pick my outfits. So I thought maybe I'll just do that, and someone will answer, and I'll be fine. And I'll just get one person saying, wear this dress, and so be it. But it did really well. And then I just kept doing them, and I inherited a lot of my grandmother's clothing, and I started to say oh, this vintage Chanel or this vintage whatever was my grandmother's. And then people started to become more intrigued, and my following grew. And then I got a call from my grandfather telling me that he was cleaning out my grandmother's closet, and that I should come to Chicago to pick out what I want, and then he'll send it to me. And I ended up packing 8 boxes full of her clothes. And I was like, oh, so many people on TikTok love my grandmother's clothing, and maybe this will be a fun try on haul. And I posted, I don't know, I think actually 8 videos. And someone, I didn't have Twitter at the time, but someone, I guess, reposted on their Twitter. And I didn't realize until the morning, I started getting so many DMs from my friends, dude, your video's going viral on Twitter, this is crazy. And I kept checking my TikTok, and just thousands of people started following me, and then also on my Instagram, and I had to download Twitter and figure out how to do it. And I felt like such an old person. I was like, what is this Twitter? I was like, I'm trying to search myself up. I'm like, who are these people? What? And it was so beautiful to see just people starting to talk about my grandparents and what they started, Johnson Products, and especially having my grandmother get the recognition that she solely deserves. And it was just so beautiful to see. And my mom was obsessed because it was just her mother kind of still living on through me in a certain way. And then then articles, like I think my first one was British Vogue, which was like so cool. They were interested in writing a story about me, and it just kind of trickled down, and it was pretty sick. And I didn't realize that I would touch so many. And then like it was so cool because people would comment, they're like, I used to work for your grandparents, or like the blue gel, like that was my childhood. Like I remember
Yes.
my mom putting it in my hair, and just like reading all these stories, like it brought so much joy to my heart. And to see how many people like cared about my grandparents and still cared about them. And also it just shined light on just like Black excellence and Black representation, and just seeing like a Black woman being able to afford like these beautiful clothing in a time period that Black women shouldn't have been able to afford that. And just, I don't know, it was just really cool. And I didn't realize the power that a few TikToks could have.
Yeah, TikTok has been a beautiful bridge. Like I talked to my grandma today, and I was telling her that we were going to be interviewing you. Obviously, I had to like say who you were, but just being able to bring it back to the hair products, because I mean, like I very much remember sitting on a little wooden chair and her parting my hair and greasing my scalp with the same products. And it's just such a part of Black culture, and just to know that your grandparents were behind it, and that, I think your grandfather he got a small loan, and he's a chemist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And your grandma was pretty much like the backbone of that company and getting that all started. And, I saw your video where a picture of your grandma was in Vogue, and you are very much honoring her memory, but also like it's just a beautiful representation of what should have happened before. Like there were so many style icons in the Black community that were pushing fashion forward and did not get the recognition that they deserve. And so it might be a little late, but it's wonderful to see, her picture, and you're honoring her in that way. So you're doing great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool.
But what else is really cool is that like through all of this, you've become yourself a fashion influencer. And I saw that you've been able to go to different events. Is your foot healed? I know that you had hurt your foot.
Yeah, so I get like the big surgery on the 31st, and then I won't be able to walk for the first 2 weeks, and then I'll have like, for ACL surgery, I'll like be out for, like I won't be fully healed for 4 to 6 months. Sorry, that's my dog.
Okay.
Months. So and I'll have like a nice little scar on my knee, but it's okay.
He'll heal. He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I just won't be able to wear heels, and I'm already 5'10". I don't think I really miss it.
I saw you do a live, and you were trying to find shoes to go with this dress.
Oh,
And and I was just dying laughing at the comments, because people were legit fighting because you really wanted to wear those sneakers, and everyone's like, don't do it, don't wear them.
I was like, oh my, that was so stressful. And everyone's like, wear heels. And I was like, I can't. Everyone's like, you don't have this colored flat. And I was like, no, like, I'm not made out of money. Like, I have what I have, people. I'm like, damn.
And then people were like, wear cowboy boots. And then you try the cowboy boots, and then people were like, I hate it. And you're like, what do you want me to do?
I'm just like, I can't freaking win. Oh, that was like, my heart was racing the entire time, and I was like trying to read, but every time I'd have to read, I'd get super close. So it was like just like my head, and I was like, this is so ugly. And I was like, but I don't think I'm gonna do that again.
I
think you should. It was pure comedy. I loved every second of it.
Danielle's sitting there with her popcorn.
I know. I feel like when I just do like my little like pick my outfit videos, I'm just like, okay, I like have an idea of what I want, but I like get like as like just second opinion, but this one was just more like in the moment. I'm like, see, this is why I make these videos. It's kind of like, it's very hectic for me to find something. But you know,
it was great because you were doing the shoes and then you had to do the jacket, and then people were like, I hate that one and I love that one, don't put that one back on. And then people are coming in real time, so they're like, oh, I didn't see the other one, and you're like, what do you want from me?
yeah, that was crazy. But yeah.
I had to leave, so I didn't even know what you ended up wearing, but I was like, I'm sure whatever she puts on is going to be great. Was the event, did it turn out okay?
No one even really got to see my shoes because it was a sit-down dinner. So I was like, why did I do this?
All of this for nothing.
And like I checked my coat at the door. So I was like, no one even got to see my coat. Like I was like, why did I put myself through this stress? Like I think I went for like a ballet flat, like very casual, which is kind of nice because my feet were very grateful for that.
Yeah, I can't wear heels for the life of me, so I hear you on that. Well, I have a few questions for you. Since we're going to be talking about a movie, I figured why not ask you to name 3 movies or actors that have influenced your personal style.
Oh, that's a great question.
And it can, since you like music too, we'll throw that in there. If there's musicians or artists that you like as well.
Well, okay. That's perfect because my favorite musician is Prince, and I loved Purple Rain, even though that movie is like terrible acting, but like just like the fashion in that movie and just like his whole aura,
Yeah.
just like iconic. And I think that's like a great influence on my personal style. Damn. That's like, I don't know. I would say like somebody, well, any movie like Tracee Ellis Ross is in. She's
Yeah.
always like fantastic, and her style is just like so thrilling and very colorful, and I really like that. Um, and she like knows her undertones. Well, granted, she's like a stylist, and like you know, when she's in movies, they have someone that styles her. But like, yeah, I really like the colors that she has, and I think that also inspires me. Like me wearing this pink shirt and this sweater, like it's just so refreshing to see. Like, I guess it's a TV show, but Girlfriends, like all of her, that TV show in particular was mind blowing for me. Not only because it was just like a full black cast, and then it was also like black women with different hairstyles, and it also like allowed me to like embrace my curly hair, and like also like introduced me to braids and like sew-ins and just like everything under the sun. And then I guess like another TV show, not movie, is The Nanny.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, I want to like when I was little, I was like, I want a miniskirt, mom. I was like, no. Like,
She had the best outfits. But one thing that like through time that I've recognized now is that like she gets so much credit, and she deserves it because her outfits kill her. But there are so many outfits that Regine on Living Single wore first before she wore them on The Nanny, and I was just like, nobody gives her credit. And Whitley Gilbert on A Different World, 100%. Like if that was the aesthetic, like I feel like she's the one who started it. Like if you look at Hilary Banks on Fresh Prince, if you look at Regine, even if you look at The Nanny, like Whitley Gilbert was that chick that started it, and I don't feel like she gets enough credit. So, but I love The Nanny.
Yeah. No one really talked that. That's actually really true. It's a great point. Yeah.
Obviously, you have your grandmother's wonderful clothes and accessories and just a plethora of that stuff. But is there anything in your mother's closet that you've been eyeing that you're like, I absolutely love this one thing?
She made me give it back to her. Yeah, there's like this beautiful, I've been like searching, like I like to thrift a lot, only because I feel like the quality was just a lot better back then.
Yeah.
Just like a nice long trench coat, like leather trench coat. And I was at home in Miami, and I was going through a closet, like one does. And I saw this like beautiful leather trench coat, and it was like Gucci. And I was like, I need this. And I was so close to taking it that like I put it in my suitcase. I was like, yeah, okay. And my mom's like, oh, like I just got you this pan. I'm gonna put it in your suitcase, and she like, unzips it, and like lo and behold, what's like laying on top is just her leather trench. And she goes, Olivia, what's this? And I'm just like, it's mine, you know, like I was like, it's nothing. Like, and yeah, we had like a little bicker, and she was like, you can have it, but when I want it back, you have to give it to me. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, like I'll say yes, but you're never gonna get it back. But for my birthday, she came to town and she asked for it back, so I had to give it to her.
Oh.
I was like, I lived like with 6 months with it, and I was like living it up. And then she was like, yeah, I'm seeing it too much on social media. I'm taking it back.
Oh.
Time to get dirty. And I was like, damn. But yeah, I think that was like my favorite.
You definitely can't go wrong with a good trench coat.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
Last question. So there, obviously you've become a fashion it girl, but there are a slew of Black fashion it girls. Who would you pick that you feel like deserves a little bit more love that doesn't get, you know, as much love, I guess, doesn't get as much fanfare as they deserve?
Yeah, I think she gets a lot of like fanfare, but I think for the wrong reason. It's always about like who she's dating, but never her style, or like not as much. But Lori Hardy,
Yeah.
I like when I went and like got my hair chopped off, I was like, I showed them a photo of her and I was like, this is what I want. Or like anytime I'm shopping, I'll like try, like I have a Pinterest board on like her style. It's like it's perfect because like she's like, I don't know, like she loves to mix like masculine and feminine together, and also just nice. It's like it's refreshing. I don't know how to say the least. Like I don't know, like she is like a cool chic girl, but can like rock a suit or like rock baggy clothes, but still make it look presentable. And I like how she pushes it to the limit. Sometimes it goes bad. Like she wore this like denim dress, and it was like it looked like, no, it was a denim jumpsuit, but it looks like pants were just like all the way up. Like I was just like, baby girl, like what the hell is this? I like how she's like taking risks, and it's not just always
Yeah.
safe. And I think she deserves more recognition for her style, and not just dating Michael B. Jordan or Pete Diddy or anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it's hard. I guess people pigeonholed her in that way because it's not like she's an actress. It's not like she's a singer. You know what I mean? And I think people are not used to a Black socialite. You know, like Paris Hilton got to do whatever and was not defined by who she was dating, but Lori is kind of put in that you know box, unfortunately. But yeah, she does have really impeccable style.
Yeah.
Well, Jackie, you want to do the question for everyone? Did you write that? Because I know I did.
I did write that. So, if you could choose any actor to be your on-screen dad, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I have two. Like the top one, personality wise, would 100% be Samuel L. Jackson, because I just feel like that's very much my dad energy.
Yeah.
But also Lawrence Fishburne, I feel like probably, I don't know if they look that much like, but they probably look more than Samuel L. Jackson. And I think Samuel, because my dad really loved the Shaft movies, and when he played Shaft, he was very excited. So
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'd have to say the dad in Spy Kids.
oh, Antonio Banderas.
Yes, because my dad's from Argentina, and every time I would see that movie, it would just like remind me of him. And like the accent, like they just kind of, and they kind of like look the same. And I also just like Antonio Banderas and just like this whole aesthetic.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie?
I would say John Ritter, just because he reminded me a lot of my dad. Like
Yeah.
his sense of humor and stuff. And out of all of the actors that remind me of my dad, he's the least problematic in real life. Even though he's passed away.
Yeah.
So I would probably go John Ritter.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I told you before, Olivia, Jackie and I used to work at Blockbuster. And since you're on the show, we're going to give you the opportunity to be a Blockbuster employee for today and choose 3 movies that you would recommend. It may be a little harder because I was going to say stay in our time frame from 1995 to 2005.
Yeah.
But if you can't,
Okay.
just let us know. And if you're not sure if it fits, let us know. We'll probably know if it does or not.
Okay. Secret Garden.
Okay.
And then The Little Princess.
Okay.
That one. I used to watch that all the time. I was like obsessed with that. Oh, and maybe like any of like the Olsen twins, like their movies.
Yeah.
I think like any of like them like going to New York or like going to I don't know. They were also like killing a style game back then as well. Like in the movies, I was like, damn. I was like, I want to wear a skirt and jeans. Like
yeah. They took that really seriously, and it's not a surprise that they ended up having their own fashion line. They started getting to a point where they wanted to like have things custom made for them. I think Megan Fox, she was interviewed and she was talking about working with them and Holiday in the Sun, and she said that she got to see their closet and it was like immaculate. It was the best thing she'd ever seen. I'm not surprised. So why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and follow along on your adventures and your fun lives, get ready with me moments?
well, I do pick my outfit videos and cool lives that are very chaotic on TikTok. And my TikTok is like Olivia Joan 18 because 18 is my favorite number. And then I am a photographer and actually just photographed for Architectural Digest. And you can find those photos on my Instagram. And that is _Olivia Joan _
And as always, you guys can find us at No More Late Fees on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And stay tuned for our What a Girl Wants episode with Olivia later this week.
And as always, be kind and rewind.